I dreamt I was in heaven where an angel kept my book. He was writing so intently, I just had to take a look. It was not at first his writing that made me stop and think, but the fluid in the bottle that was marked eternal ink. This ink was most amazing, dark black upon his blotter, but as it touched the parchment, it became as clear as water. The angel kept on writing, but as quickly as a wink, the words were disappearing with that strange eternal ink. The angel took no notice, but kept writing on and on. He turned each page and filled it till all its space was gone. I thought he wrote to no avail, his efforts seemed so in vain, for he wrote 1,000 pages that he'd never read again. And as I watched and wondered what this awesome sight was mine, I actually saw a word stay black as it dried upon the line. The angel wrote, and I thought I saw a look of satisfaction. At last he had some print to show for all his earnest action. A line or two dried dark and stayed as black can be. But strangely, the next paragraph became invisible to see. The book was getting full, the angel's records true, but most of it was blank, with just a few words coming through. I knew there was some reason, but as hard as I could think, I couldn't grasp the significance of that eternal ink. The mystery burned within me, and I finally dared to ask the angel to explain to me of his amazing task. And what I heard was frightful. As the angel turned his head, he looked directly at me, and this is what he said: I know you stand and wonder at what my writing's worth, but God Almighty has told me to record the lives of those on earth. The book that I am filling is an accurate account of every word and action, and to what they do amount. And since you have been watching, I must tell you what is true. The details of my journal are the strict accounts of you. The Almighty asked me to watch you as each day you worked and played. I saw you as you go to the masjid, I saw you as you prayed. But I was told to document your life through all the week. I wrote when you were proud and bold, I wrote when you were meek. I recorded all your attitudes, whether they were good or bad. I was sorry that I had to write the things that are so sad. So now I'll tell the wonder of this eternal ink, for the reason for its mystery should make you stop and think. This special ink helps me keep my journal, will only keep a record of things that are eternal. So much of life is wasted on things that matter not. So instead of my erasing, smudging ink and ugly blot, I just keep writing faithfully and let the ink do all the rest, for it is able to decide what's useless and what's best. And the Almighty ordained that as I write of all you do and say, your deeds that count for nothing will just disappear away. When books are opened someday, as sure as heaven is true, the Lord's eternal ink will tell what mattered most to you. If you just live to please yourself, the pages will be bare, and Almighty will issue no reward for you when you get there. In fact, you'll be embarrassed, you will hang your head in shame, because you did not give yourself in love and charity to the Almighty's name. Yet maybe there will be a few recorded lines that stayed, that showed the times you truly cared, sincerely loved and prayed. But you will always wonder as you enter Jannah's door, how much more glad you would have been if only you'd done more. For I record as God sees, I don't stop to even think, because the truth is written with God's eternal ink. Oh, when I heard the angel's story, I fell down and wept and cried, for as yet I still was dreaming, I hadn't really died. And I said, O angel, tell the Almighty that soon as I wake, I'll live for Him, I'll do all for His dear sake. I'll give in full surrender, I'll do all He wants me to. I'll turn my back on self and sin and whatever isn't true. And though the way seems long and rough, I promise to endure. I'm determined to pursue the things that are holy, clean and pure. With the Almighty as my guide, I will win lost souls to Thee, for I know that they will live with God for all eternity. And that's what really matters when my life on earth is gone, that I will stand before the Almighty and hear Him say, "Well done." For is it really worth it, as my life lies at the brink, and I realize that God keeps books with His eternal ink? Should all my life be focused on things that turn to dust? From this point on, I'll serve the Almighty. I can, I will, I must. I will not send blank pages up to the Almighty's majestic throne, for where that record's going now is my eternal home. I'm giving all to God, I now have seen the link, for I saw an angel write my life with God's eternal ink.